Hey, what is going on, guys? I know you've been patiently waiting for this, so here we have finally my review here of the Dimension Studios 1/6 scale Ultraman version 7.3. And I gotta say, wow, this thing is gigantic. I'll give you a size comparison here in a moment, but just building this was a lot of fun. It took a good while just because there's a fair amount of parts in there. It's not certainly as complex as like a perfect grade or even like a more complex master grade, but there's definitely a good amount of parts in there, and you're in for a lot of work if you're ever going to be building this, even if especially if you're going to be going in and wanting to paint it, which I do plan on doing eventually. I'm not going to do it anytime in the near future or foreseeable future, but I do want to eventually get this all painted up. It's going to take quite a while. As for the quality of this, plastic quality in general does feel like other like Chinese bootleg kits that I built before, and while this is not technically a bootleg, it is a licensed kit. It does still have the same kind of feel of that Chinese plastic that I've experienced with other model kits in the past. That said, it does feel pretty solid. I didn't have anything that was like really super tight or really super loose. Everything does fit together pretty well, and I'm not getting like some bad stress marks or anything in the plastic, which I have again experienced in the past with different bootleg kits before. But overall, I'm really happy with this kit, and definitely interested in checking out their version of the B-type as well. But for now, let's take a look just at a size comparison here first. Alright, so first off, here it is compared with an HG 1/44 scale Gundam. As you can see, very tiny in there. And then next to a 1/60 scale perfect grade Exia. So as you can see, it's basically perfect grade size. So you've got a giant 1/6 scale Ultraman here, which is essentially a perfect grade, just not quite as complex. That said, while this kit may not seem as complex just with the base kit itself, it still has a high number of parts. A lot of these little parts here are separate parts, so you don't have any stickers. There's no stickers for any color correction on this. It's all separate pieces on there, and it does have some LEDs in here as well, LEDs for the eyes and in the chest, which I'll show you here in a moment. But I first just want to show you the articulation first, and then we'll get into the LEDs and then all the other weapons and accessories that do come with this, and there's quite a lot of those as well, and there's quite a lot of articulation to go through. So let's just start off here with the head. So you have a double joint here in the neck at the base of the head, and then at the connection there to the torso. So ultimately you're able to get the head up to there, but it's kind of blocked there at the back. I think if we move that off to the side a bit, you can even get it up to just a little bit more, all the way up to there. Of course, you can this is on a ball joint at the top, so you can get this up, over, side to side, forward, and all the way down to there. So articulation here in the neck is going to be pretty much unlimited there. Moving into the torso, it's basically separated into two sections, upper and lower sections. So you have a ball joint connection between each of those. So at the top, you have a ball joint that will allow you to move that forward and back, side to side there, and then the same thing down here at the base, side to side. So if you move that to the side and that to the side, you get a far bend off that way, forward, a full stomach crunch all the way to there, and then back all the way back to there. So much better than what we saw in the Figurized kit from Bandai. As for the shoulder armor here, it's connected via a piece in there, so that will be able to move up and down like that. You can also kind of rotate that side to side as well, so that's not getting in the way. And it's also conveniently reminded me of this part here. This part does also move there, so you can kind of move that out of the way and kind of fold these armor parts up together. And the shoulder joint does sort of remind me of the perfect grade Astray. It's kind of connected more inside the body, so this whole part of that moves. And ultimately, let's see, trying to see what's the best way to move things around, but it seems like kind of no matter which way you try to do it, you're not going to be able to get the arm up much more than 90 degrees upwards, just because of this shoulder armor just kind of going to get in the way no matter what you do. But that can also rotate to the front and back a little bit like that, and the arm works pretty normally with a point of rotation here at the top of the arm and a double joint there in the elbow to give you a pretty full bend there, like so. And then the wrist will rotate and it will be able to bend up and down like that. Now the hands are all just fixed pose. You have a ton of different hand options with this, and so they're just all going to be fixed. They're all very complex, so each of these little parts on here is each separate little part. Now this one, I think maybe a couple of these were connected as one piece, but you have all these parts to actually make this fully color separated like that, with the little pieces of armor on the outside of the sort of glove, I guess, as it were, on there. So building the hands takes a long time to build all the hands for this kit. Should also mention that up here on the shoulder armor, you have this opening panel here. This panel on the top will kind of extend out like that, so that it just kind of opens up like that, and showing some of the internal detail there on the top of this shoulder armor, which is pretty cool. Going around to the back of the torso, you have this cool spine detail. It's the only parts that are in this darker color red, and you also have this gimmick with these parts opening up on the back as well. Those little flaps opening up, you got some detail up inside there as well. As far as this kind of waist section, you've got these parts will kind of come apart from there to kind of move them, I guess, more out of the way if you wanted to do some sort of kicking pose, and you need that to be kind of up and away a little bit so you can get the leg up as high as possible like that. So in doing so, you're able to get the leg all the way up to there, which is pretty high, and I guess like straight out like that. Also out to the side, you can get that leg extended all the way out to the side like that, also pretty nice. So the way that this hip joint works is pretty interesting. It is kind of similar as to what you see in some of the Figurized kits actually. And then at the top of the thigh, we've got some rotation here as well. When you bend the knee, you get a double joint there and a separation of this knee armor there on the front. Down here at the ankle, you have this front armor, which these two pieces are connected together, and only this top one is actually connected to the leg via a ball joint there, so that'll kind of move around, and this lower piece is just hanging off that. And then on the back, you have this piece here, which is also on this little kind of extended arm ball joint kind of bit there, so that can also move out of the way, very similar to the shoulder armor, so it's move out of the way as you're moving the rest of the foot. The foot side to side will go really far side to side like that. It's a pretty cool design, a little bit of a clown shoes feel to that, but luckily they're small, so if they were too much bigger, it would look a little bit goofy, but as they are, they're not too bad. The toe will not point down, but will point up like that, which looks a bit weird if you're imagining that there's an actual human inside of this suit, but that is okay. Up underneath the feet, you've got a little bit of detail there, nothing too much. The foot ultimately will be able to move forward to there and then point down really only to about there. So the upward and forward movement there at the ankle is not really all that much, unfortunately. And then one more thing is on here on the back of the leg, you have these two panels which will open up as well, revealing some more detail up inside there. So this upper and lower part will also open up like that. Very, very nice detail up inside there. And then as I'm getting ready to show you guys the LED gimmick, I'm noticing one other point of articulation here is this part here on the back of the head. This actually will move a little bit like that, up and down. So that is, when you have the head out like that, there's supposed to be a little bit of a gap, but when you move that back, that will close up, so you're able to move the head farther backwards. But anyway, to turn the LED in the head on, you need to just pull off the top of the head. You can see there it is with the batteries there. Easy enough to just hit the switch on that. Just switch that on, and you can see the lights in the eyes come on, as well as little bits in there with the little glow of the green there above that, and the head camera above that. So that's looking pretty awesome. And then we have one in the chest as well. It's a little bit harder to get to because you have to pull the body apart, and the ball joint is really tight, so you have to pull this apart to get up inside of there. And the switch is up inside the chest there, so you can flip that one on. You can see that LED came on, and you've got light sticking out the chest there as well, which looks really nice also. So here it is in lower light, so you guys can get a good idea of that. But yeah, that looks really cool. The light doesn't really come up to the head camera there very well. It does come out this little green bit, little green circle there above the eyes, but out the top of the head, that upper camera there, I guess is what that should be, that blue one, that blue clear part you have there, but the light doesn't really make it up all the way to there, but still looks pretty awesome. Now let's get into the accessories, and the first thing being this really awesome sheet of water slide decals. Now if you saw the unboxing video, you've seen this already, but I'll just show this to you once again. You have a beautiful sheet of water slide decals here in red, black, yellow, and white pretty much here, and tons of little detail and little tiny bits. So these will go on really nicely on there once the thing is painted. So really looking forward to getting these on there. The decals on this look really, really nice. Up next then we have his set of swords, and we've got two of these. They're mirrored, so they're not exactly the same. One is for the left and one is for the right side. This will just plug here onto the side. You'll just remove this little piece here and then plug this in its place. And honestly, not really finding it to be the strongest connection, but a little glue or something in there will definitely help to keep that in place, so that can be connected onto there. Alternatively, you have a different option. If you remove this connecting arm for that, we have an alternate piece of armor here for the side of the leg with obviously that hard point on it. So you just put that on there instead, and this will just connect directly to the side of the leg like that, which is an interesting option as well. Although I just kind of like the look more of this kind of mechanical arm here holding that, and then of course the sword just should come out of there. There we go, a little bit of coercion. You can get that out. Now, if you saw in the unboxing video, we had like a set of these like soft pads, and those actually go inside of here so that when you're slipping the sword in, and once it's painted, of course, if it's not painted, it doesn't really matter, but once it's painted, the paint won't get scratched by anything by putting that in. So there's like these soft pads inside of this part here that will keep your sword protected, which is nice. So here's what that looks like. Pretty simple, but very nice. I really like the look of this. And so that will just be able to held in the hand, which we'll go over all the hands here in a moment. Then you have the set of EX rifles, which are just held on this contraption on his back, and so this part will fold up like that. This part will also extend like that, so it's meant to fold up over his shoulder, so you can just grab that like that. The rifle's off of his back, so this will plug onto his back here. There are these little doors, as I got one of them open already there. The other one will just open up like that, and they want to kind of fall back down just because of gravity, so you have to kind of hold your breath and keep that open long enough for you to plug this onto his back. But that just plugs onto there like so. So again, that can fold up and extend out like that, so that you can grab that off of his back without any problems, and just otherwise this just pulls off of there. And so the two of these are exactly the same. You got this nice little clear red piece in there, and a couple of pieces on this do feel like you're definitely going to want to glue them because they're little pieces. These little pieces here on the back also feel like they're going to fall out kind of easily, so just be a little bit careful. But still, the design of this is really cool. You have a couple of hands that are specifically made for holding these rifles, so again, just really cool, simple, but I like the look of those. Plug onto the back pretty easily, and then you've got those stored for when you're going out. And then his other main weapons here are the giant Specium Cutters. Now we've got two of these. They're exactly the same. They're very large and very heavy, but I think you should still be able to hold it without too much problem. So as you can see here, this is the handle. You basically just remove this part and you can connect the hand onto there. I think there's also this bit which folds out and will plug into the arm. It's kind of really tight. I'll have to get something to pull that out of there, but that will pull out also and plug into the arm. You'll put the hand on the handle there and then close up this part around that. So that's just connected onto the arm, and the front part extends out like that. Very nice. And then the claws will open up like so. So you have a little bit of articulation here, a little bit of articulation there, and then this whole bit can also open up like that. So the full extent of that open up will open up all the way to there. Then you have this clear red part in there. I really wish that they would have done an LED gimmick in these as well. Put an LED inside here to light up this little red bit there at the front of the Specium Crusher. That would have been really cool. So these will just plug onto his arms, and they're really, really awesome, cool looking weapons. And the color separation on here is really nice, again, even though it's completely unpainted. And so the last thing, as I mentioned, is hands, and you've got a ton of them in here. And unfortunately, I did actually manage to lose, or I didn't have a couple of pieces. A couple of the pieces are missing. So for example, for this hand here, I'm missing that part. When I rewatched my footage from the unboxing video, I saw that I think one or two pieces was actually missing from the runner when I opened up the box, just because they had fallen off somewhere along the way. And I think one also I maybe lost somewhere here in the room just during the unboxing as well. But let's just go through some of the hands here. So this one, obviously an open expressive hand like this. This one is a just open, but sort of like rifle support hand here, so you can see how that would be for supporting the rifle. You've got a sword holding hand like this, and again, just all the different parts here for these. These take so long to build. And also all the hands are available in left and right also, so each of these different styles you've got for the left and the right hand. This one is a kind of partially open hand, sort of like, I don't know, so this whatever this expression is. Then you've got another partially open hand, this one in more of like a kind of claw formation. So just again, compared to that one, you can see just a kind of different expression made with these. Then we got a set of trigger finger hands, of course, for holding the rifles. And then you've got another set of holding hands for holding the Specium Crusher. So you can see there's two different style of holding hands like this, and they're not really all that noticeably different, but you can see what the difference is. For the sword, you can see there's kind of a square groove in there, which is definitely meant for holding onto the sword handle. With the other one, not as much of a groove in that one. And you can see the extent of the fingers is just slightly different as well. And then we have this sort of thumbs up looking hand, which is just again meant for holding the sword, I think, in this certain way. Now, this one and this rifle support hand are the ones that we don't have both left and right versions of these, because they are specific. This one's very specific for the right hand to be holding the sword in that way, and this one's very specific for the left hand to be supporting the rifle in that way. So All the other ones we have in both left and right versions, including of course the closed fists, which you've seen on the kit already, except for these two, you only have one of each. Alright, so here he is all loaded up, and he's very heavy now, and hopefully won't fall down as he's turning around here. But still pretty solid, I gotta say. I'm definitely feeling a little bit of weight issues there, but I think especially if you're going to be painting this, I don't think you're going to have any problems at all. But even with it as it is, I think it's going to be fine. If you run into a situation where you're feeling like you've got the kit and you feel like it's getting a little bit loose in some certain areas, maybe just because of the weight of everything, say maybe just do the whole technique of tightening up the joints in whatever which way people have a million different ways to tighten up joints, but whichever way works best for you, maybe tighten up a couple of those joints just to make sure that he's nice and solid, not going to be falling down off your shelf or anything like that. But I think it's very solid. I mean, the detail on it looks fantastic. Everything on this kit, I'm really happy with this. The different weapon options are really cool. All the different hands you get are really great. I much prefer though all the different fixed pose hands rather than articulated hands. And like I said, all of the exterior detail is fantastic, as well as all the different opening hatches up on the top of the shoulders, like the back of the legs and the back of the torso. And those bits just make it really nice as well. The articulation is fantastic overall. You can do some really amazing poses with this. Obviously going to be a little bit difficult to do any aerial poses. There's not really any way to stick it up onto an action base or anything. That maybe would have been cool, and maybe something that hopefully they'll do in maybe some other future releases. Make their own version of an action base, like something similar to like the action base that's used in a couple different perfect grade kits, something like that. Some big hefty base that will be able to hold the kit up in some cool action poses. So that would be really nice to have in the future, I think, with these kits if they end up making any more. But just with everything that you get in the box, you do have plenty of fun options there. Now, the only thing that I think is going to take a little bit of work here, or a lot of bit of work, is some of the seam lines. Some of the weapons do have some seam lines on there that you're going to have to work with, but pretty much the rest of the kit doesn't really have much in the way of seam lines on there. So just going to be a whole lot of sanding ahead of you just to get everything all nice and prepped for painting. But other than that, nothing really too much extensive work is going to be required for this, I think. So if you're used to painting anything large, or if you've painted any perfect grades from Bandai or anything like that, it's going to be some kind of comparable situation to that. So again, guys, I just gotta say I'm really happy with this kit. The size is gigantic. It's borderline ridiculous, but I still like it. I mean, honestly, if this was smaller, I think I'd be perfectly okay with it. I didn't really necessarily need the kit to be this big, but it is going to make for a really nice piece once it's all finished. It's definitely going to get a lot of attention in your display case or shelf, whatever you have it displayed, just because of the size and just how cool it looks. So it's definitely well worth the price, I think. And if you want to get this version or the Type B, which again I do hope to maybe get in the future as well, just because of how much I enjoy this one. I think there are also like figure versions of this that are like pre-built or metallic versions as well. So there's different other versions of this that are available out there you could look into. But if you're a fan of this or just like the way this looks, I highly recommend checking it out. I think it's a fun kit and well worth the price. So hopefully this review has been helpful for any of you who maybe didn't know about this kit or just were looking for some more information about it. Hopefully this answered any questions you may have had about it. There may have been maybe a couple little things that I may have missed, but hopefully not, to try to cover everything, especially the articulation. There's a lot of little bits and things here and there that move, so that's a lot of stuff to cover, but I'm trying to cover as much as I can. So hope it's been helpful. If you have further questions or comments, of course, though, feel free to leave those down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.